Right, the next kind of instrument we want to look at are what we refer to as swaps. And you can swap anything. If you have a risk you don't want, you can swap it for a risk that you do want. So that can be swapping one currency for a different currency. So the US dollar for the euro. You can swap steel for grain. Not going to see a whole lot of that. You can swap anything. I want grain, or I want the effect of the price of grain, versus I've got steel, I don't want the price of steel. I've got US dollars, and I don't want US dollars, I want euro exposure. And somebody on the other side has euro exposure, and they want US dollar exposure. What we're going to spend most of our time on in this class is dealing with the type of swap that you will see the most of. And that's interest rate swap, where I might swap a variable rate loan, whatever, for a fixed rate. Now, we're not actually, what we're doing is we're just saying, okay, given the variable rate, given the fixed rate, we're going to figure out what is the net payment. So all we're doing is we're just swapping out one thing for another. And in each of these cases, there has to be some notional amount attached to it. Because what we're really swapping here is the US dollar and how the US dollar fluctuates in the currency market versus the euro. Steel versus grain, albeit there's probably not a lot of correlation between these two. So you don't see this very often. But you do see a lot of this, variable rate versus a fixed rate. And so what we'll do is we'll spend a lot of our time and most of our time in this class talking about this interest rate swap. When we get into hedging foreign currency translation, we may also spend a little time here, but when we get into foreign currency hedging, we'll use most of our time discussing forward contracts, because that may tend to be the most effective and efficient way of doing it. However, these currency swaps, not cross-currency swaps, but these currency swaps tend to be pretty a significant size in the overall derivative market as well. So this is all we're doing. We're swapping one rate for another rate. Now, why would a company want this? Why would a company want to get a fixed rate versus a variable rate? Well, the company may want to switch out their variable rate because they believe interest rates will climb. And if they have a variable rate loan that they have to pay back to the bank, they want to get a fixed rate, because now they're not going to be rate sensitive if interest rates increase. Well, why would somebody who's got a fixed rate want to switch to a variable rate? Because they believe the opposite. Whereas the variable rate holder believes interest rates will climb, the fixed rate holder believes interest rates will not climb. And so you get these two counterparties together, and they can come to an agreement where this one's betting that they're not going to go up, and in fact, they're going to go down. and this one believes that they will go up. And so this one's betting they're going to increase, and this one's betting they will not increase, and in fact, they'll go down. So in each of these cases, there are individuals on both sides of the bet, both sides of the transaction, that believe they're right. So really, the swap market, any of these hedging activities, all of this stuff, these are all just bets on what we think the future holds as far as the market is concerned.